March is Triple Negative Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Triple negative breast cancer, also known as TNBC, is when breast cancer cells test negative for three things: estrogen, progesterone, and the HER2 protein. The National Institutes of Health says TNBC is responsible for 12% of breast cancers diagnosed, with a 5-year survival rate of just 8 to 16%. TNBC is more common in younger women, women of color, and those who have a BRCA1 mutation. That's according to the American Cancer Society. It also tends to grow and spread faster, has fewer treatment options, along with a worse prognosis. A young mother in Siouxland was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer when she was just 35 years old, shortly after giving birth. Now, this Center, Nebraska mom wants other young women to be aware of the signs. KTIV's Taylor Deckard has her story.
I just had no idea. I had no family history.
35-year-old Holly Hernandez was a full-time working mom back in 2021, helping support her blended family. She was breastfeeding her infant, now 3 years old, when she noticed a lump in her breast.
And I noticed it, and I was like, yeah, I'll get that checked out, but it's just a clogged duct.
She had similar symptoms in her last breastfeeding experience, and at that point was waiting for it to turn into an infection before she went to the doctor, but it never did. Her doctor scheduled her a mammogram and an ultrasound.
3 days later, I had the core needle biopsy, which then told us it was triple negative breast cancer. I had no idea about breast cancer. I didn't even know what types there were.
The mammogram showed a large, dense mass near her armpit of her right breast and diagnosed with stage 2 triple negative breast cancer.
It's harder to treat than other breast cancers because we don't have the keys to stop. You know, there's not as much treatment. Chemo is the biggest treatment for triple negative breast cancer, so there's less treatment options.
Getting to treatments are a challenge. Each week she was driving to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Norfolk, Nebraska. Her family has supported her with every step and change. Her treatments ended in June of 2022. She was deemed cancer-free that summer, but it was short-lived. In November 2023, she had another uphill battle.
I did an x-ray of my chest, and my left lung was basically crunched up in the top of the lung cavity, and fluid filled the bottom of the lung cavity. They took out 2 liters of fluid that first day. They ended up finding a tumor in my pleural space. They did a biopsy of it, and yes, triple negative breast cancer.
She was then diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic triple negative breast cancer. For now, she has hope and is also a young advocate supporting others with breast cancer.
I'm gonna live my best life now because I don't know how much I have left.
She also advises mothers to stay on top of their health, reminding them that you need to take care of yourself.
My focus was on everybody else at that moment, and I was the last thing. You know, like I came in last, and I don't think that's different for any other mom.
In Center, Nebraska, Taylor Deckard, KTIV News 4.
Hernandez has now become a young advocate with the nonprofit Living Beyond Breast Cancer. It's a nationwide organization providing breast cancer patients with the tools to help women overcome their diagnosis. Hernandez continues to fight and reported earlier this month that her tumor is shrinking. You can learn more about TNBC and Hernandez's story right now at KTIV.com.